Yes, when we rented for years a house up on Väsingsö, out in Onsala, which is a peninsula south of Göteborg, where I grew up. And we would gather at a little meadow that belonged to the farmer from whom we rented. And we would gather the leaves, the birch leaves and the flowers, and we'd help make the wreaths. Even though we were little kids, we probably did that much help. But I remember doing Små grodorna. I loved that, of course, as a kid. But there were other songs we did that maybe aren't. Sju vackra flickor I en ring. Do you know that one?
I've heard of that one.
Pretty girls in a circle.
Yes.
The girls are in the middle, and they go around, and then they turn around, and then they pick a partner. Of course, that should be a boy, and it was, not really anything for kids, but we thought that was pretty fun. Fun anyway. It was, I suppose, an old mating game.
That one stands out though in your memory.
Yeah. Yes, because if you were one of the girls, you had to turn around and I remember the farmer's 25-year-old son was really a good-looking guy, I thought, when I was 6. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's all I remember. I remember that beautiful little meadow with trees all around, and we all, the families there weren't many families on that little peninsula, maybe 10, 12 families, and we all knew the songs, and everybody participated, young and old, and it was very important. We didn't have any musicians. Once in a while, somebody played accordion, but that was not as common. We sang. Everybody knew the words.
Did you do the same singing games at Christmas?
In my family, we were a small family, and we had real candles in our tree, so we never pulled it out and went around it. But I did go to julgransplundring at the Vasa Order of America, because my grandmother and her husband and some friends started that in Göteborg after they'd come from the U.S. And I remember we did all those games and songs there too. And it was a big hall, and it was, of course, indoors. Yeah, we did the same ones. I also remember, of course, that we did karusellen.
Yeah.
And that was pretty dangerous because the person in front of you held his or her shoulder, and you kicked, and then when you went around, you had to hold, and it was really hard to keep your balance. You went fast. So those two people followed the circle, and it was really, really dangerous.